The Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program is a Canadian immigration program designed to address labor market shortages in the 4 Atlantic provinces. This is Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. In this video, I will tell you how you as an IMG doctor can make use of this unique program started by Canada and the 10 things you must know about this. Let's do this together. Hi there, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Rajiv Iyer from IMG Secrets, bringing you more secrets on how you can be successful as an international medical graduate doctor. The Atlantic Immigration Pathway is a way for you international medical graduate doctors to obtain permanent residency in Canada. Here is a question to you. Are you interested in the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program? Just answer a simple yes or no in the comments below. Here are the 10 things you must be aware of regarding the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program for IMGs. Number 1 is obviously who is eligible for this. To be eligible for the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, the IMGs must have a valid job offer from one of the employers in the participating province. Now, this job offer should be in a designated occupation. Now, this includes various healthcare professions, making it accessible for IMGs. If I need to give a specific example, this would be working as a clinical fellow or a research fellow, or any jobs that are classified as skilled jobs based on the NOC classification from the Government of Canada. Now, number 2 is, what are the job requirements? This is important for you IMGs. It is totally fine for the job to be more than 1 year, but it should be at least 1 year. From the employer side, which in our case would be either a university or a hospital in one of the 4 Atlantic provinces, they must obtain an approval or a designation from the provincial government to hire foreign workers through this program, like IMGs. On to number 3 is the language requirements. I understand this can be painful, at least for many IMGs. The applicants must demonstrate language proficiency in either English by taking a designated language test such as the IELTS or CALPIP, or for those of you who are focusing on French, the exam is called the TEF. The next requirement focuses on your education. Now, you IMGs must have your educational credentials assessed by a recognized organization to ensure they're equivalent to Canadian standards. In the case of IMGs, this assessment is especially crucial, and you IMGs might have to pass additional exams to practice in Canada. For example, if you're focusing on getting into residency, then obviously you need to take the MCCQE1 and the NAC. But on the other hand, if you're focusing on fellowship, you may not have to take these exams, but rather you can seek our help on www.imgsecrets.com, where we have experience in coaching IMGs like you to bypass residency. Number 5 is a plan to settle in Canada. For IMGs who are focused on moving to Canada, this is not a problem, but you're required to demonstrate a settlement plan saying that you have intentions and plans for living and working in one of these Atlantic provinces. Now, this ensures that you're committed to be in one of these Atlantic provinces to further your career and your life, either alone or with your family. The next thing that's required is an endorsement letter. Now, once the hospital or the university offers a job, they must endorse the candidate for the Atlantic Immigration Program. The government will review this endorsement and they would approve this and then issue a letter of endorsement to the candidate. So this means with the support of the hospital who is hiring you, you can now settle in one of these provinces through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Is this making sense so far? The next thing is the work permit. Now you have a job offer as an IMG, you have a letter of endorsement from the government, then you can apply for a work permit to start working in Canada through one of the Canadian embassies in your home country. The work permit is usually issued for the duration of the job offer. Now, initially, you may get what is called as a work visa, and then once you enter Canada, at your port of entry, this is where they would actually issue another piece of paper called the work permit, and this is really important for you to have in order for you to legally work in Canada. The next big thing, permanent residency. And all of you are excited about this. So after working in one of these Atlantic provinces, you as an IMG can apply for permanent residency through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. The few things you already have for this is your job offer, your letter of endorsement, and your work permit, plus you have the requisite Canadian experience. So based on all this, you would be getting Canadian permanent residency within a span of few months. Sometimes it might take longer, but typically in a span of few months. The next thing is, what if you have a spouse, your children, or a common law partner? In this case, you can include all of these with your permanent residency application, and you all will be approved for permanent residency in Canada, usually at the same time. Now, the whole family would be permanent residents in Canada through this Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So here's the benefit. You now have a job, you have a permanent residency, and your pathway for the future would become a lot more easier than otherwise. Of course, you're wondering how to go about your application so you become successful. You can always check our website and book an appointment from there. The next thing is, how much time does it take to process your application? Typically, the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program processing times are much quicker than other types of immigration pathways. Of course, you do have to make sure all your paperwork is in order. You need all the necessary endorsement and all other requirements. Now that you know all about the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, I encourage you to check this video where I have mentioned about the different paths of how you can be an IMG doctor in Canada. Now, we offer expert help at IMG Secrets. And if you need to speak to one of our experts, you can go to www.imgsecrets.com and book a coaching session with one of us. So we will guide you through each and every step that is specific for your situation. And once you book an appointment, you also get an experienced mentor who will be guiding you through each and every step as you go through your application process. Of course, any questions, post in the comments below. We try to get back to you as soon as possible. Take care, stay safe. I will talk to you soon.